In this video, I will tell you how to attract someone without words. And of course, this video is more directed towards us ladies, but I'm sure that the gentlemen out there could also use some of the advice or just would find it also interesting. What I will teach you here in this video is, first of all, 3 easy techniques on how to attract a man without saying anything. So this is perfect for shy and introvert ladies. So it will really focus on attracting without obvious flirting or without any communication in an obvious way, which sounds impossible, but it is possible. At least you can try. And then I will also reveal 3 body language signs that men display if they are interested. And as a bonus, I will also teach you how to spot if someone is fake. So this might be interesting for both men and women. Please make yourself comfortable, take a tea or a coffee or something else and watch this video. We will start right now. So we will start with the topic of the non-verbal attraction. First of all, you need to know that only 7% of our communication is actually verbal. That means that the rest, 93% of our communication, of our interpersonal communication, is actually non-verbal. So what does that mean? That means that your words can only take you so far, and that only because you are not very talkative, or maybe you are rather a quiet person or a shy person, an introvert lady, that doesn't mean that you have no chances to attract someone or to get to know someone, because our communication is much more versatile and much more complex than just the verbal communication that is so obvious. So those 3 non-verbal signs have to do with body language, and they are quite easy. You can remember them very easily. They are working on a subconscious level. If directed towards a specific man and the man also has an interest in you, they will pick it up and they will understand it, even though it will be just subconsciously. Because it's so deep inside of our DNA, especially those non-verbal and body language things and gestures, that they are simply giving us this feeling that something is there. So what is number 1? Number 1 is exposing the neck. Exposing your neck as a lady when you are sitting somewhere and you would like to attract someone towards you, in a romantic sense, of course. It is helpful if you somehow expose your neck. And of course you can do that in a conversation, but here we are talking about non-verbal things. So if you are, for example, sitting somewhere with a friend and you are talking to your friend, but at the same time you would like to send a non-verbal signal to, for example, a man who's sitting at another table, what you can do is exposing your neck. So while you are talking, you might simply play with your hair a little bit and just put it away so that your neck is exposed. And to emphasize this, you could even lean or tilt your head a little bit, maybe towards the person that you are talking to. It doesn't have to seem that obvious, because when you are talking, you are lost in thoughts, and then we often do things like playing with our hair or like touching something. And if you just expose your neck like this, it will spark interest, because it is not something that people do when they don't feel attracted to anyone. So it is something that women or that ladies do when they feel attracted and when they want to signal that, and even if it all happens on a subconscious level. But here I'm just teaching you what happens on a subconscious level so that you can use it consciously if you are too shy and otherwise don't know how to signal attraction. So this would be number 1. So again, just exposing your neck, tilting your head and touching your neck. Those 3 things. Number 2, the second non-verbal technique that is also quite sensual because it also has to do with body language and with touch, is to touch the point between your collarbones. And your collarbones, so these bones here, they are a very sensual area of the body, in some cultures more than in others. I think for us Western ladies, it's not that special because we also, our clothing, or we have a lot of fashion items that actually expose the collarbones, like wider necklines. But indeed, this is an area that is also very attractive and that can signal interest. So what you can do is, again, while you are talking with your girlfriend or just thinking, lost in thoughts, you could just touch this area. And if you have like a necklace like I am, you can even play a little bit with that necklace. But if not, you can simply touch this area here between your collarbones and very, very gently, or simply rest your hand or your fingers on that point between your collarbones. This is very sensual and it somehow exposes you in a vulnerable way, but it is also very attractive and therefore it can attract a man. So of course there must be also an interest from the other side, but this way you can really signal your like feminine interest. And number 3 is the most powerful technique, but it is also brave, and especially for shy ladies, because it has to do with the eyes. So maybe you have heard of the Princess Diana look. So this chin down, look up, batting the eyelashes. We also know it from Marilyn Monroe movies, because Marilyn Monroe also had this kind of look from down and then up, but it is most known or connected with Lady Diana. Because it has something shy, but it's still very, very attractive, because actually, although you are shy and you are, of course, so showing that you're shy because you look down, but then you look up with your eyes and you try to meet the gaze of the other person that you want to attract, that you find attractive. And it can only last for a few seconds, maybe 2 seconds even, but it will have a bigger effect as if you were just looking at this person. If you just look at the person and you are that brave and smile and which is great if you are that brave, you need more than 2 seconds. You need 4 seconds to signal your interest in a way that the person will unmistakably understand that you are interested in them and that you didn't look just casually. But with this Lady Diana look, with this chin down and look up, it is much more powerful. So even a second is already more powerful because it is so unexpected. Maybe you know the movie The Geisha, or Memoirs of the Geisha. It's also a book that I have read. It's a really nice book, and the movie is also not bad. And there they also talk about this main character in the movie or in the book learns how to be seductive, how to be feminine as a geisha in Japan. She also learns the specific look with the eyes, and actually it's the same. So she has to do an exercise where she walks on the street, and then the task is to make a boy fall from his bike, because there are many bikes and boys on bikes driving by on the street, and she's walking on the sideway. So the task is to just look down, walk, because in those times also it was something very special if a woman looked at you directly, so it wasn't expected, of course. And in that sense, the main character, she's walking, looking down, and of course the boys who are passing, they look at her because she's nicely dressed, she has her nice costume, but then she changes her gaze, and from looking down, she looks up in this way that I described, like this Diana look, this shy look from down above, and she directly meets the gaze of one boy who is passing by on his bike, and he is so smitten and of course shocked by the power of this gaze that he falls from the bike. So the task is completed. I mean, she was successful. And yeah, so it's basically the same. They are teaching her how powerful the gaze can be, the gaze of a woman in the right way. So this is something that you can try if you are shy, maybe just for a split second in the beginning, but you can try if it has an effect already. So look down, think about something, do something, and then look up, but directly in the direction of the man that you would like to attract. And maybe you will meet his gaze, because when he's already looking at you, it's quite probable that if you look up, you will directly meet his gaze, and this will be a very powerful moment. And maybe it takes some courage, but maybe it might be worth it. So you can try that. And of course, you can also smile with that, at least a little bit. If you like that video so far, because now we will continue with the second part, I would be very happy if you give me a thumbs up. And if you're interested in femininity and all kinds of topics, I would be very happy if you subscribed to my channel and also clicked the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And now we will continue with part number 2. How can you interpret the body language of the man? How to see if he's attracted. Okay, so we will start with the first nonverbal attraction sign, which is very interesting, and I will say something with regards to the probability that these are very accurate later on. First of all, I will give you the 3 signs. So the first one, the feet are pointing towards you. And what is important here is that the feet of a man who is otherwise engaged in some kind of conversation, or his body is actually pointing somewhere else. For example, he's sitting at a bar, he's talking to someone, he is with other people, but his feet, the tips of his feet are pointing towards you, which is actually a different direction than his upper body or his face, or his whole body is pointing towards. This is a very, very good sign of what he is actually interested in. Because the feet, they can really reveal the truth in that sense. The feet very often, and you can make a social experiment, you can go to some social gathering, to a party, and you will see that very often. And also if you start paying attention to that from now on, if you are in groups and you know there is a man who actually likes you, or is interested in you at least, look at the feet and you might see that indeed the feet of this person will, although he is maybe talking to someone else in the group, point towards you. It is also something subconscious, but also very, very deep inside of us. And then number 2, the leg split. We know that from men, and it's actually something that is regarded as quite negative if a man makes himself very wide, but in that sense, if a man stands wider or just takes up a bit more space with his body, it is actually a sign of territory. So he actually does it to impress. It is kind of territorial display, which a man mostly does to impress a woman or to attract a woman or to show attraction. And number 3 is the hands in the pockets, thumbs out. The man doesn't have to do that with both hands. One hand would be also enough. But putting the hand in the pocket, but keeping the thumb out, is also a sign that shows that he's attracted. And now, it is very important to note that, as with all nonverbal body language signs, if you study that on a deeper level like I did, you have to be careful and not over-interpret something. Like the thing that I told you about the feet, you always have to consider that there is a rule of thumb that there have to be 3 nonverbal signs that can be interpreted in the same way to be sure that it is the right interpretation, that a person is interested in you. If there are only one or two, of course it might also be a sign, but you can never be sure. But please take this with a little bit of entertainment. I have these informations from books that I have read that are based on scientific studies too. I can also recommend some of the books down below, but still take it not too seriously. It can help you a lot, and especially the first part can help you as a woman a lot, because this all happens on a very subconscious level. But don't take it too seriously. So only because you will now notice that a man always points his feet towards you, but maybe he's married to someone else, don't over-interpret, you know what I mean. You cannot say it 100%. There can be something going on subconsciously. There doesn't have to be. But maybe it will be fun for you to just be a little bit more aware of the body language of men in your environment from now on. And maybe it will just help you a little bit to also become more courageous and less shy when just showing your interest. And now the bonus, part number 3, signs of fakeness, or how can you spot if someone is fake? And this applies to men and women. And there are a few signs that are easy to spot. If you are a little bit, you know, sensitive and you are a little bit of an observer and shy, introvert ladies like I am, we are all almost always very good observers. We listen more than we talk, and we observe more than doing something. So the first sign is the fake happiness. And maybe you have heard of the smile without the eyes. There are different, ways on how to smile. There is the real smile, where the orbicular muscles and the eyes are engaged. And you see that because it works together. And then there is the fake smile, where you smile without engaging the eyes and the muscles up here. I have talked about these kinds of smiles in another video, and I will link that here and down below so that you can watch it afterwards. So it is look on the complete face. Don't just look on, does the person smile? Look if their eyes are also engaging. And those are so little and small things that you can actually see. You can see if the eyes are smiling with them, or if they are like in a strange way not connected. And of course there are so many more techniques and signs with regard to interpersonal communication and nonverbal communication. So if you are interested in that topic, if you want to go a bit deeper or find out some more, let me know in the comments and I will do more videos on that. And never forget that it is a fact that 90% of the impression that other people have of you, they develop within the first 90 seconds of your interaction. And the interaction might just be seeing each other and moving and those nonverbal signs. And that's why they are so important. And why body language and nonverbal communication is even more important than the verbal one. In the end, when people get to know each other, if you ask them, how did you meet? Maybe they talked to each other or one talked to the other person somewhere. Most of the people don't even remember what they said or what the other person said. Because this is not what will remain in most cases, unless it was something super interesting. But in most cases, this is not what will be remembered, and it is not what is important. What people will remember is the situation, and not even who was first, because this is something that you cannot really say. That's why it is so important that you as a woman, if you want to get noticed, if you want to get to know someone or attract someone, that you have also to be receptive. This is also something that has to do with feminine energy. So just sitting there is not enough. Of course, you don't have to talk, you don't have to walk up to someone if you are feeling shy and this is not your way, but at least try to signal with your body. And you don't even have to be that brave to directly make eye contact or smile, which is very powerful. If you can do that, do that. I think I did another video about seducing with elegance, where I'm also talking a lot about the smile. I will link all those videos down below that are relevant, but here I tried to really focus on those of you who are too shy for everything. So what can you do? The only thing that you can do is your body, playing with your body or with your movement, with your body language in a way that is so subtle but still so obvious on a subconscious level that it will still signal or send the right signals. So the neck exposure, the collarbone, the touching yourself in a subtle way, the Lady Diana, you know, look. These are very suitable for shy and introvert ladies, and that's why I wanted to give you those 3, but there are also more. As I said, I can make more videos if you are interested. For now, this is it. I didn't want to like overload you with too many and too complicated things. Just remember those 3, and remember also the signs of attraction that you see in men. Remember the rule of thumb, the 3-point rule, and also remember to look at a smile and if the eyes and the smile are working together to discover if someone is fake. And then you will be very well prepared. And I thank you for watching and see you in my next one. Bye bye!